Hello students, today we will be discussing about matrices, which is the third chapter in book 1 of NCERT. Now matrices is simply an arrangement of certain numbers or objects in a well-defined manner, and that too specially in a rectangular form. That is, matrices can be said to be a rectangular array of things or objects. Okay, it is something like a set where we put together well-defined objects and separate them by commas and close them within curly brackets. That is the roster form of putting together things. Now here, in case of matrices, we put them together in a well-defined manner but in a rectangular manner. Like for example, if in a class there are 5 students whose results have to be compared, so we usually write the students as A, B, C, D, E, and the subjects in which we say we want to compare their marks, let's say S1, S2, S3, and then we make these entries like this. So clearly it's a rectangular thing if we just write these marks without the headings, without a table, and let's say we are saying mark 1, mark 2, mark 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So instead of writing it like a table and separating them by commas and columns and rows, we could just simply write M1, M2, M3, M4 and so on, going in this manner, and towards the end you write M15 and enclose them within small brackets or square brackets. So it's a rectangular arrangement which is called as a matrix. Same way, instead of doing this, we could write the names of the people here and the subjects in which the marks are being discussed can be written here. And so it will have 3 rows and 5 columns, and we could get the marks as M1, M2, M3, M4 and going in this manner, and towards the end M15. And this, if you write in this manner without the headings on top or on the left side, we simply write them as a collection M4 until you have M13, and here you have M2, M3 and going in this manner M15. So this is also another way of writing the matrix. So both ways it is a rectangular arrangement. By itself it doesn't have a value. We don't even separate them by commas like that in the set. So it's simply another way of showing or putting together certain objects or quantities or things. They could be even numbers. So as we define a set, the same way we define a matrix to be a rectangular arrangement of certain amount of or well-defined objects or things. Or you could say a matrix is a rectangular arrangement of well-defined objects. Obviously we put together like things, like suppose you are talking about marks. So marks obtained by certain set of students to be put together. We don't put absurd things together, so they have to be well defined objects and they are arranged in a rectangular manner. By itself it doesn't have a value. Now the next thing we see is that it's an arrangement in terms of rows and columns. So the horizontal arrangement, so it's an arrangement in case of horizontal arrangement is called as rows, whereas vertical arrangement is called as columns. So you could also say that a matrix is an arrangement in terms of rows and columns. Okay, so usually we name them just like a set, we give them we name them by a capital alphabet is used usually. For example, A, B, C, etc. or X, Y, Z is used to indicate a matrix, and the corresponding terms are usually, if you are speaking in general, suppose you have a matrix A, the corresponding members of A are written as with small alphabet. So you will write A, and so on, and going in this manner. So either you write A1, A2, A3, A4, or usually what we do is we write the position to indicate the position of a member to which that particular member belongs. Like for example, suppose we have a matrix having 3 rows, so 1, 2, 3 rows and 4 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this position, this is 1, 2, 3 rows, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. So this position, we always write the position of the row first, followed by the position of the column. So first of all, we talk about, before talking about the order, we will the position of an article, we talk about the order of a matrix. By order, we mean 2 things. One is that number of elements belonging to a matrix, and second thing, and the most important one, is the number of rows into number of columns. So for that matter, this one will have order as 3 rows and 4 columns. So we write it as 3 cross 4. So 3 cross 4, and we read it as 3 cross 4. We don't call it as 3 into 4. And number of elements would be equal to 3 into 4, which is 12. So I again repeat, by order of a matrix we mean 2 things. Basically it tells us the arrangement of the elements in a matrix. So in the form of number of rows and then followed by number of columns, and we write it as a cross and in between them, and we write it at the bottom right corner of the matrix. Now here, in place of small brackets, we can also use square brackets to indicate a matrix. Okay, so now this matrix, if it is of order 3 by 4, now the position of various elements, this is the first order, first row, first column. So this is the 1 1 position. We write it as A11 means first row, first column. A1, this is the 1 2 position. The row, we always write the row to which the element belongs first, followed by the column to which it belongs. So this element will belong to the first row and the second column. So this is the A12 position. Now the next one, and as I have already said, since we are naming this matrix as capital A, the elements would be denoted by small a, and the positions tell you that these are different elements in different places. Now same way, this one would belong to the first row and third column, and then first row and fourth column. So this is the first 1 3 position, this is the 1 4 position. Now coming to this position, this is second row, first column. This one is second row, second column, second row, third column, second row, fourth column. Similarly, you have 3 1 position, 3 2 position, 3 3 position, and 3 4 position. So here we write it as A21, A22, A23, A24. And the third row, the elements would be written as A31, 32, 33, and A34. So this is how you represent. So the moment they ask you what is there in the 2 3 position, so what will we look? We will look in the second row and against the third column. You will see that we will find the element in the 2 3 position. Okay, so likewise, given any number of elements, we can have the various types of orders of matrices possible. Okay, now so as you can clearly see, matrices is the plural form of a matrix. So given any number, let's say n is equal to 13 equal to number of elements belonging to a matrix. Okay, now what we do is we find the factors, the various factors of n. So n can be written as, it being a prime number, only 13 into 1 or 1 into 13. So we can have only two possible matrices of orders 1 by 13 and 13 by 1 are possible here. Now same way we can have, suppose the number is given to be, for example, the number of elements belonging to a matrix is given to be, let's say 24. So we will write all, first of all we will write all possible factors. So 24, the factors of 24 are, we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, then we have 6, then we have 8, then we have 12, then we have after 12 we have, for 24 we have 24. Okay, and we can write it as 1 into 24. We could write 24 as 2 into 12. So we try to maintain an order so that we don't miss out any particular entry. So 1 by 24, 2, the order is either said to be m cross n, that is usually the number of rows in the matrix into the number of columns. Okay, or we also say that m by n, that is number of rows by number of columns. So this is how we speak of it. So 1 by 24, 2 into 12 is again 24, 3, then the factors are 4, 6, 8, 12 and 24. So we could have, if you just write it in the reverse order, then also you get it. So either ways you write 1 into 24, 2 into 12, 3 into 8, 4 into 6, 6 into 4, 8 into 3, 12 into 2 and 24 into 1. Or you can do, just write all possible factors this way and then write it in the descending order. You get all possible orders. Are the possible orders of matrices possible? Matrices having 24 elements. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 possible matrices. Okay, now the number of rows are usually denoted by m and number of columns, these are the standard notations, are denoted by n. Therefore order of a matrix is m cross n, read as m cross n or m by n. Okay, and number of elements in that matrix would be m into n, that is mn. Okay, so this is what we do. Now coming to the next thing. So similarly, if you have named a matrix as B, you will write the elements with small alphabet B. Now another way of writing, sometimes what we do is we also write A as, you write Aij, and within square brackets you write m by n. This means that that number of rows in this is equal to m, number of columns in this matrix is equal to n. And I usually refers, now I is the first element, so it will be the rows, and so it means I lies between 1 and m, and j, which is the second member, means refers to columns, and it means that j will lie between 1 and n. So it will have m rows, n columns, and accordingly you can just write, this is the short form of writing the positions of the elements belonging to that matrix. Okay, now we come to the next thing. Now that we have defined what is a matrix, so now sometimes what happens is we are given for example, given that the general term Aij is given by half of modulus of I minus 3j, and we are required to construct a 3 by 2 matrix using it. So first of all, 3 by 2 means I can take values from 1, 2, 3, and j can take values from 1 to 2, because there are 3 rows and 2 columns. So first of all, let's write it as A, and the positions would be what? 3 rows and 2 columns, so 3 horizontal lines. So A11, A12, there are only 2 columns. Okay, so A21, A22, A23, and 31, and A32. There are 3 rows and 2 columns. Now we have to find these elements. So what we do is find A11. We know that, so put I equal to, it means I equal to 1, j equal to 1. So we get A11 is equal to half of 1 minus 3, which is half of minus 2, modulus, which is 2, which is 1. And so we get A, first position is 1. Same way, A12 is the next in line, that is A12 would be I is 1, j is 2. So A12 would be half of I is 1, j is 2. So we get half of minus 5 by 2, which is 5. So you get 5 by 2. So this element comes out to be 5 by 2. Proceeding in this manner, you get A21 as I is 2, j is 1. So A21 comes out to be half of 2 minus 3, which is minus 1, modulus is 1, that is half. So we get half. Similarly, you can find the remaining three elements also. Now let's take up the next thing, which is types of a matrix. Types of a matrix. So there are various types. First type is a column matrix. First type of a matrix is a column matrix. True to its name, it has only one column. Okay, any number of rows. So is a matrix of order. Column is 1, means the second part is 1, and rows can be any one. So m by 1. Usually we denote the rows by m and column by n. So m by n. So, and how do we write? We have, like for example, 1, 2, 3, 4 is a column matrix of order. There are 4 rows, that is 4 by 1 matrix. Okay, now same way we have the next one, that is called as a row matrix. Now in a row, as the name itself suggests, has only one row, and so it is of it's a matrix of order. Now row is 1, but columns could be any. So 1 by n. For example, you could have 1, 2, 3 is a matrix having 1 row but 3 columns. Okay, now the next one is a Next one is a square matrix where number of rows equal to number of columns. That is, it's a matrix of order n by n. So here usually we could have written it as m by m, but usually we prefer writing n by n, or simply a square matrix of order n. We simply say a matrix of order n by n, or we simply say that it's a square matrix of order n. So the moment we have used the term square, it means the number of rows will be equal to the number of columns. Now the next one is a diagonal matrix. Now onwards, whatever definitions we are taking, we will be referring to a square matrix only. So a diagonal matrix, okay, is a matrix having all elements other than those in the diagonal as 0. And now in that case, so basically diagonal is possible only in a square matrix. So it's a square matrix having all elements other than those in the diagonal as 0. And out of this also, diagonal also we consider as the principal diagonal. Okay, so let's consider a 2 by 2 matrix. Okay, so let's take up a 2 by 2 as a11, a12, a22, 21 and a22. Okay, so these elements, this is the principal diagonal. Though of course this is also one of the diagonals, but we consider this as the diagonal element. So this is the principal diagonal, or simply the diagonal which we consider. So if all other elements, means now if you just see in the principal diagonal, what is special about principal diagonal, that the subscripts are repeated, like a11, a22. Similarly, if I have, let's say, b3 cross 3, it's a square matrix of order 3. So I'll have b11, b12, b13 first row, b21, 22, 23, then b31, 32, 33. So the principal diagonal, if you just see, it has the subscript which is repeated, that is 1 1 2 2 3 3. The other diagonal doesn't have this quality, so we consider this as the main diagonal. So if in a square matrix, if aij equal to 0 for all I not equal to j, then it means it's a diagonal matrix. Now what do you mean by this? Aij is equal to 0 for I not equal to j. See, in all these other diagonal elements, I is equal to j. Whatever is the number of rows, same is the number of column, except for all other non-diagonal elements. And so this is in a simple statement we are able to say that if aij equal to 0 for all I not equal to j, then it is a diagonal matrix. Now in the next one, we take a scalar matrix. Now scalar matrix says that, again, now scalar matrix is a further specification of a diagonal matrix. So a diagonal matrix, so obviously it will be a square matrix for it to be a diagonal matrix. So a square matrix having all diagonal elements as equal to some scalar, or you say the diagonal matrix having all elements in the diagonal equal to some scalar or a constant. We say it is a diagonal, that is So it's a diagonal matrix, means Aij is equal to 0 for all I not equal to j, and Aii equal to k for some scalar k. So it will be like, for example, k00 k is a scalar matrix. Now we come to the next one, that is identity matrix. Now identity matrix is another constraint put on this only. It's a scalar matrix having the scalar equal to 1. That is basically, now for it to be a scalar matrix, it needs to be a diagonal matrix. For it to be a diagonal matrix, it needs to be a square matrix. So basically an identity matrix is a square matrix having all non-diagonal elements as 0 and the diagonal elements as 1. Like for example 1001 or 100010001. These are two identity matrix which we'll be taking, and we always denote identity matrix by capital I. And we will be taking up identity matrix, or in fact square matrices only of order 2 and 3. And the last one is a zero matrix or a null matrix. It's a rectangular matrix in which all the elements are, so this need not be a square matrix. It's a rectangular matrix having all elements 0. Having all elements 0. That is, it's a matrix of order m by n having all elements as 0. So it would be something like 1 2 3. This is a, for example, this is a 0 or a null matrix of order 2 rows 3 columns, so 2 by 3. Similarly you can have any order matrices. Okay, so with this I have introduced you all to the basic concept of matrices. In my next video I'll be taking up the various operations on matrices, the equality, addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Thank you.